Hey everyone, I have a fun class designed for you today, and I want to thank Miss Kelly for the inspiration and the design of this activity for everyone. So I want to give a shout out and credit where it's due, that this wasn't an original thought in my own mind for this activity, but it was so good I knew that I wanted to use it. We will be sitting quietly in a very focused way for this class. In this activity that you will generate images in your mind. You will let loose your imagination. It's important to play and enjoy while staying present and focused. I want to make a note about visualization because there are times where there are some people that will say they don't visualize things, and that's okay. Don't let that catch you or be a hang up for you. If you don't see things, that's all right. You might sense or you might feel the things that I'm saying as if you were seeing it. So let that be all right. Don't overthink it. So, and I will say the word see many times as we go throughout this activity. And I don't want you to get stuck on the concept. And so if you can just like go with it and have fun, that's the best thing to do here. So you'll follow along with what I say as the directions are meant to guide you. So I'll start slow and then things will speed up as we go along. I want you to begin right now by getting in a comfortable and relaxed position. Just anywhere where you know you can sit, but of course it's okay for you to fiddle and move around, scratch your nose. That won't be a problem, or it won't get in the way of this activity whatsoever. But if your eyes are closed, it's usually the best way to help us visualize something or to invoke the imagination side of our brain. So as you begin to close your eyes, I want you to go ahead and allow for some focus to come forward behind the eyes. Being alert, being attentive, and bring that attention to the breath right now. Let's do some breathing together where we breathe in and hold it. Exhale through the mouth, almost as if you were blowing through a straw. And breathe in and hold it. Breathing out as if you were breathing out through a straw. Let's do it again together. Breathing in, hold it. Breathing out, exhaling as if you were pushing through a straw. Go ahead and do that 2 more times to yourself. And after the second time, I want you to go ahead and allow for yourself to bring your breathing back to any gentle or comfortable pace for you. As you're breathing, I also want you to begin noticing yourself expanding, getting lighter perhaps even. Just take any gentle noticings that you have of that. With your eyes closed, if that's comfortable for you, begin to visualize a red rose. Notice the color, the petals, the stem, and the leaves. Now change the red rose to a pink rose. Stay with this pink rose and take it in. What do you notice? Now see a yellow rose. Now change that to a white rose. a perfect white rose. Now a blue rose. Look at that blue rose. Now a black rose. Now change the black to a green rose. Now a plaid rose. Now a striped rose. Now a rose with polka dots. Now change that to a rose made out of gauze. Now one made out of copper. Now one made out of diamonds. Now see the green leaves on the rose plant. Now see the green leaves turn into fish. Now watch those fish swimming in a pink sky. Now observe the sky become a lake. See the lake wearing a skirt and high heels. Watch the lake pick up its skirt and begin to dance. See the dancing lake dissolve and turn into screwdrivers. Watch those screwdrivers talking to one another. See words coming out of the screwdrivers and watch the words falling to the ground, then growing roots. The roots cry tears that fall up to the sky. See the tears turn into gold coins. Watch the gold coins become encased in clouds. See yourself reach up into the clouds and retrieve the gold coins. Now put the gold coins in your pocket. See those pockets become lungs full of golden air. Take a very long deep breath and see that golden air fill your arteries and veins and have it go coursing through your entire system. Now exhale and see green roses coming out of your mouth with each breath. Now relax for a moment. Take another deep breath and envision another color, any color. Remember the color. Envision a number and remember that number. With your mind's eye, see a bird. Remember the bird you see. In your mind's eye, see an insect. Remember the insect you see. See an animal. Remember the animal you see. Rest again and take another breath. Allow the air to flow all the way down into your legs. Now your feet. Now exhale, letting it all out. Now focus on your ears and your ability to hear. With your focused attention on your ears, hear a trumpet playing. Now hear a dog whistle. Then hear that whistle become the hiss of a pressure cooker. Now hear the rumble of a truck going by. Now the sound of thunder. Now hear a waterfall roaring. Now the afterburners of a jet plane. Hear leaves rustling in the wind. Hear a cricket chirping. Hear someone typing on a computer keyboard. Now hear the ticking of a clock. Hear the breathing of a sleeping baby. Hear the meow of a cat. Now hear an orchestra playing. Now hear that orchestra only playing with sticks of wood. Hear those sticks of wood shouting. Hear that shouting turn to screaming. Hear the screaming become rifle shots. Hear the rifle shots become a pounding on your front door. Hear the front door creak as it slowly opens. Now hear the creaking become the sound of water running along in a creek. Hear the water in the creek say something to you. Listen to what it says and remember it. Now hear a voice from the future make a statement. What is that statement? Remember the statement. Now hear yourself saying or doing something 7 years into the future. Remember what you are saying or doing 7 years into the future from now. Take another deep breath. The air, have it move down into your feet. Blow the air out through those pursed lips and feel yourself relaxing. Now focus on feeling. Imagine you are outside on a very hot day. The kind of day where you step out the front door and heat envelops itself around you like a blanket. Feeling that heat, and then feel that heat only on one side of your body, as if you were sitting close to a campfire. Now feel the heat dissolve into freezing cold. Feel the difficulty to breathing in the air that is 20 degrees below zero. Now feel yourself balancing on the top of a very tall story building, being up many floors high. Now feel someone push you off the edge. Feel yourself falling through space. Now feel yourself falling through space, and you are now pretending to be an Olympic gymnast, twisting around and landing on your feet. Feel your feet, your back, your arms, the tissue behind your eyeballs, the space between your toes. Feel your hands and your fingernails. Feel your hands run themselves over a piece of sandpaper. Feel your feet buried in warm sand. Feel your body walking through warm sand at the bottom of the ocean and breathing naturally there. Feel your armpits expand as you take a breath. Feel yourself breathing heavily as you run through the woods. Feel yourself waking to your power. Feel yourself as you were at the age of 3. Feel the embrace of your first boy-girl slow dance. Feel the moment you made a really tough decision. Feel your birth into this world. Now feel your whole body, self, and your mind, head to toe, inside and out. Feel it all. Now take another deep breath. Fill your lungs with air and blow that air out through those pursed lips. And relax. Take your paper and your pen or your pencil and write down the answer to the following questions. This is not a test, so just remember what comes to you, or not. If you're listening to the recording of this and you still need to get paper, then pause the recording and go get that. Let's start with, what color did you envision when I asked you to see a color and remember it? Write it down. What was the color? What number did you envision when I asked you to see a number and remember it? What kind of bird did you see when I asked you to see a bird? What kind of insect did you see when I asked you to see an insect? What animal did you see when I asked you to see an animal? What did the water in the creek say to you? What did the voice from the future say to you? What were you hearing or doing 7 years into the future? Okay. Now that you have everything written down, let's see what all this means. So when we talk about the color that you envisioned, that color can be thought of as your banner, your shield, or your flag color. It's a protective color for you. And if you're here with me live, go ahead and put in the chat room what that color was. Let's see if we get a few responses and see what people came up with. Oh, we got light blue, purple, blue again, black, red, pink. No wrong colors, right? Green. Awesome. Well done. What was the next one we had there? What number? What number did you have? Your number is your true age. Whether the number you came up with was 1,000, 1,000,000, 3, 7. This is just kind of a fun way to take a look at things. So perhaps if you got a really large number, you're an old soul. A lower number could also be meaning that you're also working through healing something at that age. The process of bringing to light and bringing peace and love and healing to yourself at that age. What kind of bird did you see? This is your mascot. That's a bird that's part of your mascot team. And that type of bird and the strengths or its abilities that it has relates back to you or is here to bring you a message to get through something you're going through in life right now. Oh, I love that. Oh, think of the properties or the characteristics of that bird and how you can apply it to the strength or the support you need to get through something here perhaps at this time, or maybe it represents you. You can carry it like a motto. How about the insect? What did you see? That's also another type of mascot, and think of the characteristics of that insect. The qualities that you can apply and the message that insect could carry for you. Insects are very powerful, and the imagery that they bring to us can be very powerful. Love that. All right, and what animal? This animal would be your primary totem or perhaps a power animal. Think about characteristics like bear and mama bear idea, dog and loyalty, elephants and their infinite intelligence. Think of the characteristics of that animal and its message to you. What did the water in the creek say to you? What was the message? Excuse me, if you'd like to share, those of you, whether you're listening back, you can always type something in for me if you're listening back to this on YouTube or live here if you're with me. Oh, I love that, Janet. Whoosh, it's okay, keep going, she says. Maikia says, I love you. It's beautiful. Be mindful today, someone else put there. That's awesome. What did the voice from the future say to you? Oh, and what the water from the creek said, that's a message from your true self, your higher self, your soul self. So take it to heart. Look at how you can apply that message. And what did the voice from the future say? This would be a gift of insight from yourself, or perhaps even from the idea of the future world, your future self, and it's what's going through in the world. Nice. You have always been enough. I love that. That's a message we should all take with us. And if you got that from the future, then awesome. That's a beautiful thing to take to heart. What were you either hearing or doing 7 years into the future? And that would be a quick insight into your future. Oh, I was a grandma, someone put. That's fantastic. You might want to keep that to yourself until things unfold. Oh, I love it. These messages are a beautiful way to experience the way you took the vision forward. You weren't coerced or forced into thinking in a certain way. This was our imagination at play, right? So what does it mean when we're seeing the color, or we're seeing the roses, or the images and things that you are seeing, or you are hearing, or you are feeling? And what was the easiest for you when you were doing the visioning of, say, the roses, or perhaps when you were hearing that part with the trumpet? How about the feeling part? What was easiest for you? Make a note of that. This is a message for you as to what your primary channel of receiving information comes through, and what you trust most is what was easiest. And perhaps all of them had a sense of ease at some point. All of them can be cultivated, a way of picking up and receiving, but we often have one way that is a little easier than others. And information comes to us in many ways. And the way that is easiest for you is the one you likely do trust the most and use the most. Part of your homework is to pay attention to that as you move through the next few weeks. How are you receiving the information? How is it being presented to you? Because that level of awareness and cultivating that level of awareness widens your perception, your awareness, and brings your consciousness into how you receive. Was there anything that you could not see, hear, or feel? You always want to allow yourself to practice your weaknesses, but you don't have to focus on them. How about, was there anything that made you afraid? Anything that made you afraid? The idea of the falling part, that makes sense. Yeah, being pushed off that tall building. Yes, that makes sense. Oh, the idea of the future being something that could be fearful in general. Yeah. Sometimes just the idea of the unknown and learning to trust the universe, that all things that are happening and unfolding for us are a blessing, are very much meant to be. And this may be quite obvious right now, but these all relate back to the clairs, such as clairvoyance, the seeing part, right? Clairsentience, the feeling part, clairaudience, the hearing part, that we were playing around with this activity. Go ahead and share with me, whether you're live here with me in our chat room or later on if you're doing this activity through my YouTube channel. Go ahead and put what your favorite part was. What was your favorite part? Well, I hope this activity was helpful for you, and if you are viewing this on YouTube, I want to thank you very much. I hope that you leave me a comment, and if you're live, don't go anywhere. We'll get our moment to unpack some of this and have our chat, and I'll answer some of your questions, and if you do have questions and you're viewing this later on YouTube, please put them down in the comment section. All right. Thank you very much. I'm Leanne Thomas, and it is quite an honor to be guiding you through expansion with your intuition and into more consciousness.